Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone, and we're going to get started. Okay, this is the Department of Aging and Community Living and Wild Tech iPad Training, Module 4. Today, we're going over useful applications on your iPad. We're going to do things a little bit differently today regarding the questions. If you have a question, I'm going to ask that you raise your virtual hand. And it's going to be after each section. So if you have a question pertaining to the section that we're on, whether it's contacts or FaceTime or whatever the case may be, we're going to get those questions answered during the training. But if you have something pertaining to something else, we're going to hold that until the end of the training, okay? All right, so this disclaimer, the Wilderness Technology Alliance DC Senior iPad program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health, well-being information designed for educational purposes only. Okay, you should not rely on the information in any applications or topics made by the Wilderness Technology Alliance, including but not limited to mobile and device applications, and any social media pages maintained by the Wilderness Technology Alliance DC Senior iPad program, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice, okay? And just as a reminder, the program provides you one Apple iPad tablet computer, also cellular data provided by the Department of Aging and Community Living, individual telephone training, online group training, and face-to-face library training, as well as tech support. We'll be resuming our face-to-face library training in a few weeks, and we'll let you all know when we're back in the library. We also will have you participate in at least 6 free tech trainings on Zoom and respond to the midterm survey when it's emailed to you, okay? We want you to remain in possession of the iPad. You start off with a one-on-one training and try to use the iPad 3 days per week, okay? As well as checking the emails that we send to you. This is a reminder that we put on every class, just so that if we have any newcomers or persons who haven't been in the program for a while or joined the classes in a while, this is just a reminder. Okay, now it seems that you all have been doing really good with showing your screen name. And I'm just going to check through the participants to make sure everyone seems to have their name. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so if you needed assistance for naming yourself or if you needed to change your name, you would tap on the screen and then on the top right, look for the word participants. You would see either your name or the word iPad and me in parentheses. You would tap on that, type in your first and last name, and then click done. But everyone on here has their first and last name, so you all get an A+ on that. Okay, and if you need to raise your hand virtually, if you have a question throughout the training, you tap on the screen, and on the top right, you're going to look for the word more. More, it has 3 dots above it. Once you tap on more, you'll see raise hand. If you tap on that, just like that, thank you, Anne. When you tap on that, it'll show that you have a question, and it'll pop up right on my screen. Thank you all for practicing that now. Excellent. Okay. All right. So for today's agenda, this module has been a lot longer in the past. It was jam-packed with information. Right now, we're going to focus on 4 different applications, specifically on your iPad. Adding contacts. Okay. We're going to focus on, I see that someone has unmuted themselves. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. All right, as well as FaceTime, how to make FaceTime calls, the music application that comes on the iPad, as well as text messages or iMessage that also is pre-installed on the iPad, okay? So let's go ahead and start with contacts. As far as creating a contact, you would use the contact application that's on the iPad, and this is how it'll look on the iPad if you're holding it vertically. Okay, we want to make sure we stay muted unless we have our hand raised, and I can answer questions, okay? All right, you would tap the add button. It's going to be a little plus on the top right of the screen when you open up contacts. You'll fill in the contact's first name, last name, and any other relevant information. You don't have to fill up every space, so you don't have to add an email, but here you can adjust the ringtone. If you want a specific text tone for a person, you can edit all of that here. And when you're finished, on the top right, you'll click done. Okay. Now, once you save a contact and you click done, and you need to reach out to this contact, you will search their name. As it shows in this picture on the top left, it has a list of contacts on the left. And then on the right-hand side, it gives you different options. You can send a message, you can FaceTime, you can send an email, or you can even send money with what's called Apple Pay, okay? And we're gonna demonstrate as making a contact here in a moment. Now, if you wanted to delete a contact, you would scroll all the way down to the bottom of the contact that you've created, and you'll delete that, okay? Now, I'm going to show that demonstrated now. Okay, so if you were creating a new contact, does everyone see at the top of the screen there's a plus? I'm going to tap on that plus, okay? Now, just for as an example, I'm going to try to type in, I'm going to type in, is it lowercase? There we go. Alexander Bell. Now, this isn't his real information. This is just an example. Okay, and I'm going to say he works, the company is Wild Tech. Okay, and I'm just going to add 202-800-6868. Okay, now I'm just going to move me out of the way. So I just started a new contact for Alexander Bell, right? And on the top right, I'm going to click done. And he's going to appear there on the left. Okay, here he is. Now, if I wanted to quickly contact him or access, I could tap message, I could tap call, I can tap video, send an email. Right now, I only put in his phone. So that's why video and mail are grayed out. But if I put in his email, you'll be able to see those options lit up in white, and you could quickly reach the person that you just saved into your contacts, okay? All right, now we're gonna go back to this presentation. Excellent. All right. Now, as far as making a FaceTime call, now that you've saved the contact, how can you call them on your iPad? FaceTime is free. It's a free application, okay? When you use FaceTime, it's almost like being with friends and family in that moment. You can speak to them right from your iPad, similar to Zoom, but it starts off as a one-on-one call, okay? The audio in the picture is fairly clear as long as you have a good signal and connection. It works over both Wi-Fi and cellular data. So you'll be able to make calls using your iPad because your iPad comes with cellular data provided by the Department of Aging. Okay. I see Miss Martina Washington says she likes free. Absolutely. FaceTime is definitely free. All right. So in order to make a FaceTime call, if you've never used the FaceTime application, you'll have to use your Apple ID to sign in. So the first thing that'll pop up, it'll say sign in with your Apple ID. But once you've done that, it will not ask you for your Apple ID again. For your iPad, the Apple ID is like, it's almost like the number, so to speak, that persons can call you with using on your iPad. So if you wanted someone else to FaceTime you, you wouldn't say, here's my number to my iPad. You would say, you can FaceTime my iPad at, for example, I would say zgriggs@wildtech.org. You would give them your Apple ID, your email address, and that's how you can tell persons to FaceTime you. Okay. So on the left of this screen, it gives you the steps. So you would start to type in the name of a person if you want to make an outgoing call, the name or the number. If they're not saved in your contacts, you'll have to type in a number. And we'll see this demonstrated in a moment. As you type it in, the iPad will try to guess the person if you have it saved in your contacts. And if the correct name pops up, you'll tap on it. You can tap on their name to call them. Okay. So as far as making a FaceTime call, once again, they're free, but you can only FaceTime someone who has an iPhone, an iPad, or a Mac, which is also a Apple desktop. Okay. So you can't FaceTime anyone or even send an iMessage to a person unless they have a Apple device. Okay. So if you know of a family member or a friend that has an iPhone or has a iPad device or even a Mac desktop, you can certainly give them a call on FaceTime, either a video or an audio, meaning just sound, no picture. But you have to ensure first that they have an Apple device, okay? You want to make sure the other person can see you. It'll be a little box that shows your picture, similar to on Zoom. Little box that shows your, I know, I'm reading the chat messages as they come up. The picture will show you, and you want to make sure that you're within the frame, okay? If you turn your iPad on its side, it'll show more of the screen, okay? If you want, if you hold it up and down or vertically, it'll show in a straight line. If you hold it sideways, it'll show a wider range view, okay? It's up to you though. Okay, now we're gonna get this video to play now.
Phone charging slowly? This is the fastest phone charger on
This advertisement. All right.
You're going to love making FaceTime calls. I guarantee it. But remember this, it only works if the person you're calling has an iPhone. Okay, so one of the very first things you need to do is make your phone stationary. You know, you see people talking like this.
And just one more moment. This man is actually he's using an iPhone as he describes this, but the tips still apply when using an iPad. So while he will reference his iPhone, try to follow along for the tips and just try to picture it on an iPad. It's just a bigger device, still the same Apple interface, okay?
On their phone and they're just moving it all around and the background moves behind and it's really distracting to do that. Of course you can do that if you need to, but if you don't need to, if you just want to talk to someone and have a smooth FaceTime call, the best thing to do is get a little gadget like this. It's just a little holder. I got it off Amazon. It's made by Anchor. And you just set it down and you just prop your phone into it and you set it at the angle that you need it to be in order to see your face and to make the FaceTime call. But I can tell you, whenever I have FaceTime calls with people and the background is moving around because they're walking and they're talking and eating food or something like that, it is really distracting. So tip number one is just make your phone stationary. It'll make your FaceTime calls so much better. So the next thing I want to show you is how to make a FaceTime call from scratch. So in other words, you don't have anybody in your contacts. All you have is just a phone number and you want to call that person using FaceTime. It's really not that hard. The first thing you do is tap the FaceTime icon, and then you tap the little plus, and then you tap in their phone number, and you hit the return. And now you see you have a choice of audio or video, but we're going to make a video call. So we just do that. Hey, Lindsay.
Hi, Dad.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I was just doing this first part of the video here on how to make a FaceTime call from scratch. So we'll try something else in just a minute, but thanks for taking the call. All right, see ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And then you just tap on the screen and hit the X to turn it off, and that's all there is to it. Okay, really the easiest way to make a FaceTime call is to use your contacts. I made a video on how to set up your contacts on your iPhone, and I'll include that in the description below. But if you do have your contacts set up and added to your iPhone, it's a quick way to make a FaceTime call. So all you do is tap on the contacts icon, type in who you want to call and find the person. We'll call my daughter again, and then you just hit the FaceTime icon again. Hey, Lindsay.
Hi, Dad.
I was just showing everybody how to make a FaceTime call using contacts. So they've got it, I think. All right, thanks again.
You're welcome.
Okay, see ya. Bye-bye. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is how to make a group FaceTime call. It's kind of fun to talk to more than one friend at a time or one family member at a time, and it's not really hard to do. First thing you do is tap on the FaceTime button, then you hit the plus button, and you can type in the phone number here if you want, but I'm just going to use my contacts because that's easier. So I'm going to type in my daughter's name, and I'll pull her up there, and then I'm going to type in my wife's name. Going to pull her there, and then we're going to tap on video to make the call.
Hello.
Hey, hey, we've got everybody.
Hey, everyone's good.
Well, hey Lindsay, hey Mom.
Hey, Dad.
All right, I just wanted to show everybody how to make a group FaceTime call. Thanks for helping me out.
Okay.
Okay, see ya, bye. And that's how you make a very simple, straightforward group FaceTime call. Now I want to show you how to turn a regular phone call into a FaceTime call.
Now we don't have to go over that because we're not using a cell phone, we're using an iPad, okay? So I'm gonna pull my presentation back up here. There we go. All right. And messages. Okay. Now, as far as messages, it is similar to FaceTime in that you can only send messages from your iPad. If you're sending it to a person who also has an iPhone or an iPad or a Mac device. A lot of people today have iPhones, but a lot of people today do not have iPhones. So you'll have to check with the person that you're contacting beforehand. Verify whether they have a Apple device before sending so that you can know if your message will go through, okay? So iMessage is built into your iPad, so you won't have to download anything to use it. Most persons who see it on their screen will see this message bubble on the right. It may even have a little red exclamation point in there if you've never used it. If you see that, it's only because you have not yet signed into iMessage. Once you tap on iMessage, the first thing it'll ask you to do, if you've never used it before, is to sign in with your Apple ID and password. So that's really important that you have that and maintain that and keep it somewhere safe, because most applications that are built into your iPad will require your Apple ID in order to use it. In the same way as FaceTime, if you want a person to send you a text message or an iMessage to your iPad, you would give them your Apple ID, not your passcode or your password, just your Apple ID. So a person who has an Apple device can start a text message with you to your iPad if you give them that email address, okay? All right, and through message, just like on a cell phone, you can send text message, pictures, videos, you can send a contact, you can send your current location if you give that app permission to do so, as long as you're connected to Wi-Fi or internet, okay? So here's what that would look like. You would open the Messages app, and the new message icon looks similar to the new email icon. It's going to look like a blue square with a pencil inside. You would tap on that. In the To field, you would type the phone number of someone you know. If you have already added them to the Contacts app, then you can type in their name. And once you've entered into their details, you can tap the Text Entry field just above the keyboard, then type a message. Once you're ready to send, you would tap the arrow that's above the keyboard. Okay, it's going to be sitting to the right of the screen and it's going to be blue. Okay, I know this is several steps. I'm going to demonstrate it in a moment. Okay, so let's say you wanted to send a photo or a video to someone. In the text message or the iMessage application, you'll see a little camera button. You tap on the camera button if you want to take a picture of something now and send it. If you already have a photo on your iPad that you want to send, that you've recorded or you've taken a picture of at another time, you can go ahead and tap on the little photo button at the very bottom of the screen, and it'll bring up your photos. You would select the photo that you want to send, and you would do so then, okay? Now, this is going to look different for some persons going forward. Apple has an update that it looks a tad different on some person's iPads, but for most of you, it should look just like this picture on the bottom right when you go to send a message on your iPad, okay? Now, let's say you want to delete a chat, okay? You can delete an entire chat message and it won't unsend the message or it won't delete on the other person's end, but it'll just delete it from your iPad. You'll take your finger and you'll swipe from right to left on the chat, just as it's shown here in this picture, and you would tap on delete. And that'll erase the entire message thread from your iPad, not from anyone else's. Alternatively, there is a word that'll come up at the top of the screen. It'll say edit, and then you could tap on the message and then tap on the word delete, okay? So let's go ahead and demonstrate this. Okay. So let's say I wanted to send a text message, right? You see at the top of the screen, there's that icon we were talking about. It has the blue square with the pencil inside, okay? So I'm going to tap there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to key in a number that I'm already sure of is a Apple device. And I know that because it's my work phone. So I'm going to go ahead and key in. All right. Going to tap return on the right side of the keyboard. What return does is it tells messages I'm finished typing in this number. So I'm going to press return. Okay, now in the text screen, I'm going to tap right where it says iMessage. Okay, I'm going to tap where it says iMessage, and the blue cursor is going to move down here now. You see it blinking? Now I'm going to type in, hi, oops, hi, Zion's work phone. Okay, and I'm going to send it. Okay, and once it's sent, it should, you see on the right hand side, it says delivered. So I just received that that message to my phone. Okay, so that's how sending a text message works on the iPad. Now, as a reminder, if you've never used it before, you will have to first sign in with your Apple ID and passcode. But besides that, the first step, you'll tap on that box with the blue pencil inside. You'll type in the number, okay, that you want to send it to, or the name if you've already saved this person in your contacts. Okay, then you'll tap on inside the iMessage box. That's where you'll send your actual text message. Then on the right hand side, you see that blue arrow that appears once you start typing? Okay, it's a blue arrow on the right hand side of my iPad screen. Small blue arrow. That's what you tap on to send it. All right. Okay. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. I want to briefly talk about music, okay? The music application allows you to listen to some of your favorite tracks and albums on Apple Music. It contains millions of songs. But there's a catch. It's not free. The Apple Music app is currently $10.99 a month plus tax. But we just want to inform you that it does exist. If you decide to pay for this application, the Apple Music application, it doesn't have any advertisements. It allows you to make playlists of your own, to name your playlists. So it's up to you. Okay. And it is a monthly subscription. So it's not something that you would pay for once and then you have it. It would charge every month. Now, it's not something that you can sign up for on accident, okay? So if you accidentally stumble across or click the Apple Music app, you don't have to worry about it automatically charging you or anything like that. You have to actually sign up for it. It'll take you through steps. You want to sign in, it'll ask for card information. So if you don't go through all of those steps, you don't have Apple Music and it's not charging you. Keep in mind that YouTube is a free feature on your iPad, and I know that a lot of you already utilize YouTube, okay? So completely up to you. We just wanted to make you aware of the Apple Music app, and I'm going to briefly show you what that looks like, okay? Okay. Slide myself out the way. This is the Apple Music application, okay? So as you can see at the bottom, it's showing what I was currently playing. That's Before I Let Go by Frankie Beverly and Mays. Let's say I wanted to search a song. If I wanted to search, let's see, Angie Stone. See, it would start guessing what I wanted to hear. Different songs would come up. And on the right-hand side, I would click these three dots. And I could, oh, I guess this is already in my library. So I click these three dots and I would add it to the library. I can add it to a playlist. I can play it next. I can play it last. So Apple Music is an option. It is not a free option, but it is an option, okay? I wanted to make you all aware of that. You can make your own playlist. You can listen to one artist specifically. It even has a built-in radio, Okay, and that's what it shows here on the left-hand side. So it's up to you whether you choose to utilize or purchase that or not. All right. All right. As a reminder, if you have any questions regarding attendance, you reach out to us using attendance@wildtech.org. If you have any questions regarding the midterm survey, you would reach out to us at survey@wildtech.org. And if you'd like general help, you can email us at helpdesk@wildtech.org. If you're not familiar with using the email or you'd rather speak to someone, you can give us a call at 202-800-6868. Our help desk hours have changed. Now they're Monday through Wednesday and Fridays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you leave us a voicemail with your name and number, we can call you back. If you leave us a voicemail and you say, call me back, I need help, we don't know who's reaching out to us. So please, if you leave us a voicemail, please be sure to leave us your name and number once you do so, which many of you already do. So thank you so much for that. Okay. All right. And just reading the questions, Miss Martina Washington, there is not a senior discount for Apple Music. If you want to talk to someone but not with FaceTime, there is also a audio. I'm sorry, someone just unmuted themselves. Okay. There's also a audio version of FaceTime. You would still use the FaceTime app, but as the man showed in the video, instead of clicking on the little video camera, it'll say audio. So you'll see two options. It'll say audio and it'll say FaceTime. If you don't want to show your face, you would tap on audio and it will call the other person, but you won't see their face either. Okay, so it's going to do an audio call. All right. And now I'm going to take some more questions now. And it doesn't have to be on FaceTime, contacts, or messages, or Apple Music. But the floor is now open for questions. Ms. Gudger?
Okay, I wanted to know if I have my contacts on my cell phone, can I transfer them to the iPad?
You absolutely can. What kind of phone do you have?
What's that? Apple iPhone. I think it's 14.
Absolutely, you can. So are there specific contacts that you want to send over, or is it a group of contacts?
It's a group.
Excellent. So there is a way to do that, and I'm going to see if I can get you those steps quickly, okay?
Okay, thank you.
So you would open up the contacts application on your iPad.
Okay.
Okay. On the top left, there's it should say lists on the top left. Now, what you'll do on your phone is what's called a hard press. You'll press down on the list of contacts that you want to send. It's not going to show it very well on my screen, but because the background is blurred, but you would do what's called a hard press on a list of contacts, and when you hold it down, it'll say the word export. It'll say export.
Okay.
Tap on that word export, and it'll ask you where do you want to send it. And because the address to your iPad is your Apple ID, you'll say you want to send it to your email address, whatever that is.
Okay.
And if you need assistance with that, you might want to give either help desk or me a call so that you can be walked through it specifically. But that hard press, and you should see the word export. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Zion. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Okay, Miss Deborah, we just spoke this morning. How are you? Okay, is it allowing you to unmute? Go ahead.
So what I want to know is, as you are going through the exercises, can a person retrieve the message while you're talking? Can a person go to their mail while you're talking? Because I try to do it, it won't let me really do it. What am I trying to say? When while you're talking, while you're giving the lessons,
Mm-hmm.
and I go to I go to my mail, right?
Right.
Can I start using my mail? Can I start typing the mail while you are talking?
Yes, you can begin to send an email even while you're on Zoom. And in a
Uh,
moment, after everyone's finished with their questions, actually, Miss Giles gave me the suggestion that I leave the Zoom open for about 20 minutes in case anyone wants to practice,
uh-huh.
so that you can practice what you like to, and I can stay on to answer questions while you do what you've learned on your iPad. Okay,
So other
so
words, oh,
go ahead.
so other words, I'm looking at you now because we're on Zoom. I'm in the class, right?
Mhm.
But yet I have my mail tab open, right?
Right.
Where you can see the message, the unsubscribe, and the wild text. So um, I could utilize it while you're talking. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, ma'am.
I can utilize it while, but I don't see the to from and all that on it.
Okay. So
Oh,
you
the
haven't
mess.
you haven't opened up you haven't opened up the ability to actually send an email yet. We're you and I actually
Oh,
scheduled
okay.
on
I
sending an
know.
email tomorrow though.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
We'll
Okay.
work on that one-on-one tomorrow.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
No problem.
And thank you. Hi. Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Miss McManus.
Hi, Zion. I just wanted to mention that you said with the Apple Pay there is a payment, but we also have on our iPad the Frigo Music, where it's free, where we can download or create playlists. So that's another alternative instead of paying for the Apple subscription. So many of them may want to take advantage of that. I do.
You're absolutely right. We had one of our presentations used to cover Frigo music, and we're working on incorporating that again because it is another helpful application. You know what, you're absolutely right. We're going to get that incorporated back into one of our 6 modules because if a person
Yeah,
doesn't want to use YouTube or pay for Apple Music, that is a good alternative. Thank you
yeah,
so much for that.
yes. Yeah, the library apps. Jordan does it. So, I mean, he did it last Thursday, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's
Absolutely.
a good choice to take advantage of, I think.
Thank you for that.
Sure.
Go ahead, Miss Thompson.
Oh, I hit that by mistake.
Okay. Well,
All
good to
right,
see
I'm
your face and
sorry.
hear your voice.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Miss Braxton. I can't quite hear you yet. Go ahead and tap the unmute.
I just want to know if WildTech received my survey back, because not only did I get one survey, I called and said I hadn't received any. Now I've had 2 or 3, and
Oh,
I've answered a couple of them already.
all right. So I'm going to pull that up right now and check. All right. Braxton, I'm going to answer that for you right now. Okay. And we emailed you the survey. Oh, Miss Braxton, I don't see it. Give me one moment. I'm going to check somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
These survey responses. It looks like it's updating now. Braxton. Okay. Yeah, it says we sent it out to you a few times, but we actually don't have your completed one. And I'm not sure why. Now, when you complete this, when you're finished the survey, have you been tapping the submit button on the bottom?
Yes, uh-huh.
Okay.
I did not send it back to anyone specifically. I just tapped submit.
Absolutely. It sounds like you did the right thing. We have not received it though. That might have been why you received it a few times. Because we don't have your completed survey at this point,
Okay.
which is unusual. Do you have availability after this class? Can I call you at about 2:30, 2:45?
Sure.
Okay, I'll make sure I make a quick note of that so we can get that squared away.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
All right, Miss Cook.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have a question. Since this is iPod week, day, I have an iPod. I still have an iPod. How
Good.
can I get that music off that iPod onto my iPad?
Excellent question. How did you get the music onto your iPod initially?
Oh, oh God, many years ago, through my computer, which I've already done away with, and uh, uh, I can't even remember. I can't remember how I did it
Yeah.
because I've had that iPod so long, and I've used the iPod when I go on travel on the plane. It's easier for me to to click on, and then when I did my travels over in Africa, I used that. So I don't want to get rid of that music.
I know, and it would be so nice to have it on the iPad. However, the only way that I've transferred music from, I've had an iPod as well, and the only way for free that I've been able to transfer music that I've downloaded is from a computer, because computer you can hook up iTunes, and with iTunes you're able to send the music from one Apple device to another, or from a desktop to an Apple device. So if you have access to a computer with iTunes,
Okay.
that's you would have to do it that same way again.
All right, good. And this this iPad here, does it have access to iTunes?
So iTunes, yes, iTunes is an application that works with desktops. So
Okay.
if you were on a desktop computer and you put in a cord into the computer, one end into the actual computer tower and one end into your iPad, the desktop would need iTunes. So
Okay.
yeah, you would have to send the music to the iPad the same way that you sent the music to the iPod.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I don't have a desktop at the time.
Yeah. But I am glad that you have an iPod. Those are handy. I really am. You're making me think about getting one again myself. Then
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your advice.
no problem. Miss Johnson.
Yes, hello, Miss Zion. Is there a particular time that I have like two or three questions that I need to ask you? And I'm pretty sure it's gonna take a little time. So is there a specific time that I may contact you?
Absolutely. We can schedule a time right now. I have my calendar pulled up.
Okay.
Let's do that. What about, will you be available? Uh, I'll say Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday at about 3 p.m.
That'll be fine.
Okay. And I can block out an hour. If we need more time, we can just schedule another day, okay?
Okay.
All right. And I'll reach out to you. I'll find your number on my end. Let me just write down your first and last name.
Okay.
Johnson. All right. And I hope we can get your questions answered, okay?
I hope so too. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay. Miss Brenda.
Miss Zion, this isn't a question about, the lesson. I just wanted to know, I don't know if we mentioned it to you, but we were kind of concerned about some of our members that had not been on. And, we just wondering if they're okay and if they're coming back.
So I did call. I know you let me,
Okay.
you gave me some names last
Okay.
week when I hosted well, where you were hosting, but I was on
Okay.
with you for the Good Morning Wild Tech show. I called Miss Barbara Walker, her daughter.
Yeah.
She's doing okay. She did have some health issues, but she's looking to
Okay.
get back on. Her
Okay.
daughter, I passed along the message that she was missed, and
Okay.
they really appreciated that. I called Andre Smith. He has called me back 3 times since then, and today was just so busy. I need to call him back. But the last
Okay.
thing I heard, he did talk to Miss Caroline Beasley, and she said that he's enjoying his new marriage mate,
Right.
and
Yeah.
he was on his honeymoon, and he's doing great. Okay, but I'm gonna
Okay.
touch base with him again. I don't want to bother him too much. Um,
Okay.
and I have not yet emailed Miss Dolores Washington, but I'm gonna do that today.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
Andre
didn't
did
forget.
come on one day last week. He was only here for a few minutes, so we were glad to see him. But yeah, we were
Excellent.
just concerned about some of our folks that we're so used to seeing.
I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. And I need to reach out to Miss Dolores Washington. I didn't forget though. I wrote it down and I
Okay.
called two of them on Friday. And today I just have to I wanted to reach out to Miss Dolores Washington today.
Okay. And I know there's some others. I can't think of all of them right now.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
can send
write
me
them
an
down.
email anytime. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll think of them and I'll write them down and let you know. I'll send you an email.
perfect. And
Do that.
I'll just go through the list.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem. All right. Miss Lewis, you sent me a text last week, I think. I really appreciated that. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. I sent you a message in the chat this morning. I want clarification on the FaceTime. Did I understand you to say that if somebody wanted to FaceTime me, I needed to give them my Apple ID?
Absolutely.
Okay. My second question has to do with the iPod. I also have an iPod, and I kind of heard your answer to the other person. So I can take my iPod and download that music onto my computer and then put it on my iPad.
Absolutely. So, yes. So the desktop has to be the way Apple doesn't like to, how do I put this? Because you downloaded, you got the music to your iPod for free.
Right.
Uh, most things through Apple, they're gonna have you pay for. So the only way to get music from your the only way to get downloaded music to your device is the same way that you did it for your iPod. So you will go to a desktop, you have your downloaded music in whatever form that is, and you can send it to your iPad in that way. Okay. But it doesn't go straight, if it's downloaded music, it doesn't go straight from your iPod to an iPad. It won't do that.
Okay, but I can plug up my iPod to my computer, and the music will automatically transfer, or I have to do something to transfer it?
So if you have iTunes, It's an application on your computer, your
Okay,
desktop, that
okay,
could be a laptop or a desktop. If you have iTunes and you plug it in, the computer will recognize the Apple device.
okay,
It'll pull up iTunes, it'll show here's all of the music that you have downloaded, and you'll have it there
okay,
on your desktop.
okay. And iTunes is something that I had to buy?
Absolutely not. iTunes is
Okay,
completely.
so it might be on my computer already. I have an Apple computer.
Yep, it should already be on there.
Okay, I'm gonna try that tonight. Okay, all right. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. I don't see other hands raised right now. Let's see. Oh, go ahead, Miss.
Zion, let me make sure I understand. I have an iPod too, so
Oh, nice.
but
We
I
have a lot of
downloaded
iPods
all
on
of
today.
my. I know I've got one of the old ones. I got like over 1,000 songs on it. So you're saying if I plug this up to my computer, I don't have iTunes on my iPod, my iPad rather. So you said that application is free. So if I downloaded my music from the iPod, it will go into that app, the iPad app, the Apple app. Well, what am I trying to say?
Yes, it'll go into iTunes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And if you needed to get it from if you wanted to, it kind of goes into a circle. You have to get it from your iPod to the computer. And
Right.
from the computer, they can be loaded onto the iPad for free.
Okay.
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 And if I can find a video on that, the thing is, I don't have a desktop and I have a Mac and I don't have an iPod currently, so I couldn't actually demonstrate it for you, but I've done it
Okay.
times before when I did have an iPod. So if I find a video for you, I can send it out.
Okay. Would it be on YouTube? You think YouTube would have?
Oh, definitely. That's where I was gonna look. I was gonna check.
Okay. Okay. To show me the procedure, the steps, because I have it. I got the cord. I just need to know what steps I need to take in order to put it on my computer and then put it on my iPad. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
all right.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. Hello, Miss Dennis.
Hi, baby. I'm not gonna stay long. I just wanted to ask you a question. My girlfriend can FaceTime me on my phone, and I have a smartphone, but it's a Motorola. And she has a
That's not
smartphone.
FaceTime.
And well, what is it? Video?
I'm
Because I
sorry.
can see her. We can see each other and talk on each other. And she called me on my iPad the other day.
Okay. So, which app? Do you know which app? Oh, I'm sorry. I hear some background noise.
It might be mine because my
Oh,
age.
okay.
I'm
Got it.
sorry.
So it might not be FaceTime that she's using. You say she has a Motorola phone?
I have a Motorola.
You had a Motorola.
So is that a video call instead of a FaceTime? Well, she FaceTimed me on my iPad.
Right. So what kind of phone does she have?
I think she has a Samsung.
Okay. So that's not a FaceTime call. I'm not sure what application she used. Apple has started to do what's called, and all Androids don't have this, but for some high-end Android phones, Apple has started to do what's called a FaceTime link.
Oh.
And I'm not sure if you all went through this process, but if you did, it does allow some Androids, it's not most Androids, to be able to, but you would have to have initiated from your iPad. You would have to send her a FaceTime link, and she would have to pick up the link. And I'm not sure that that's what she did. I'm sure it's probably.
Well, I don't know. All I know is that she called my iPad with my Apple ID.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad
Okay.
she was
And
able
so
to.
I was surprised, but I know that I have FaceTime. Well, we call it FaceTime because I've been talking on my phone to see the baby before I had the iPad.
Oh,
My baby in New Orleans.
yeah.
My nephew's baby. She's that's a is she a mess, honey? That's 5 going on 25.
Yeah.
These little children come here, but the Bible says weaker and wiser. I'm telling you, these little kids come here almost talking nowadays.
Wow. Well, if you find out what application she's using, let us know. I would love to incorporate that into one of our classes. If a person can make
Yeah, cause I thought it was FaceTime because that's what she's saying. I'm FaceTiming you, so you
yeah.
know. And I've called them, and I think it's I push video. I think it says video. Um, but I thought that was the same thing because when she FaceTimed me, that's what she did. Push the button on her phone. But anyhow, we got to talk, and I hadn't seen her in years, and I was glad to see her. So,
Yeah.
this iPad has been a whole different living experience because the pandemic was a terrible experience for a lot of us, and
Yeah.
it's a whole new experience. But thank you for taking my question and call. And I just wanted to mention to you that I thought I was FaceTiming. But anyhow,
Yeah. A person just gave me a suggestion in the chat. It could have been WhatsApp. It could have been Google Chat. There's a lot that look just like FaceTime. They look
oh
just like
well, I
FaceTime.
don't know because I all I did was push my phone and dial the number and push the thing for so that I could see the face what she told me to do on my phone, and I've been doing that. But when I got to see the baby in a big face on the iPad, that was a joy. So thank you for. I would like to know what it is.
Okay.
Okay, honey. Thank you, Zoe.
All right.
You
No
look real
problem.
pretty today too.
Oh, thank you. And to Miss Renee's story, I'm sorry. I'm just seeing your message in the chat. I did receive your survey back. It wasn't last week. I think I checked it about 2 weeks ago, and I saw that you completed your survey. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you also.
No problem. Okay. Now, Miss Giles is still on. So Miss Giles suggested that if anyone wants to, the class is over. Thank you all for coming. But if anyone wants to stay on and practice adding contacts, or if anyone wants to stay on and practice doing a virtual screen or anything like that, you can stay on and do that. But for now, class, everyone, you can unmute. It's up to you. Everyone, take care and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, Diane.
Thank you, Zion.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Have a good day, y'all.
Thank
Have
you,
a good day.
Zion.
Have a